It's very Star Warsy. Yeah. Yeah, little Star Warsy.
That's my favorite graphic. Corey, if you're watching, that's my favorite graphic.
Yeah,
I like it, Corey.
I actually like the fantasy news too. That one's good. But anyway, moving on. We've got obviously a lot of these trades are affecting people out there. Now, when I looked, Brandon Tate was available in 79% of leagues. He might have already gone through waivers in your league, but if he's out there, definitely pick him up. He's the new deep threat for Tom Brady and the Patriots.
But what about Aaron Hernandez?
Well, Aaron Hernandez should have already been picked up, although he's still available in 73% of leags. Why aren't you listening
That's
to me?
interesting. I thought there was a moratorium on speaking about Aaron Hernandez.
No, there never will be.
Aaron Hernandez.
I
keep saying the name.
Did I misspell it?
Hernandez.
I probably misspelled
Like Larry
it.
Herndon.
I'm a
You know what? We're gonna
terrible
have
speller.
to. Okay, no, say the next one, and then I have a wager.
Okay. Well, and also in the same vein of the Randy Moss trade, Julian Edelman is going to see a lot more looks now. He's now the number 3 there. You know, and he's a little bit better of a deep threat than Wes Welker. Wes Welker is the best receiver in the league in those little short cut routes. He's amazing. Edelman's like that too, but he's got a little fresher legs, a little younger legs. He'll get a little more deep looks. I don't like him as much as Tate, but he's available in 85% of leagues. He's a guy to pick up if you've got wide receiver problems. Claire, what did you want to say?
So here's my idea. Now we're talking about Tate, we're talking about Hernandez, we're talking about Edelman and Welker. I feel like of all these guys, they can't all be good performers every week. So I think if we should all bet on like which guy is going to be like, nah, he's like not going to.
Well, let me think about that for a second. Aaron Hernandez.
He's the loser. No, we're going to like the loser of the bunch. Like.
So he picked Aaron Hernandez already without listening to the question.
Right.
So his choice
so
is done.
I think basically it's like of Tate and Edelman, which like I feel like of those two.
I think. Are we talking just who's going to underperform their current levels, or who's the odd man out?
Who's the odd man out, basically?
Who's the odd man out?
Of those 3?
I think Edelman ends up being the odd man out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
No, you already picked Aaron Hernandez. So
I have to tell you, I am filled with doubt as to exactly who is going to be the guy in New England. I mean, losing a Randy Moss is very different. I'm not sure that this Brandon Tate guy, who most people haven't even heard of, just suddenly steps in and becomes this great receiver who's catching all kinds of balls and going down, going vertical and all this. I'm not sold on it yet. So we'll have to see. The New England running game is getting a lot better than what it was last year.
Little Danny Woodhead.
Even at the beginning of this, little Danny Woodhead, Claire's cousin. And, you got, so I'm just not sold yet. I'm not sold. It's a little wait and see, but absolutely, he's definitely a number 1 pickup.
Oh, yeah. A lot of these guys you're going to pick
the
up.
roster spot.
If you spend your year picking up, 15 guys and 5 of them become great players for you, that's a win.
Sure.
That's okay. There's going to be guys you pick up that don't do a thing that you think are going to be great and just amount to nothing.
So maybe, pick up these guys. Like, fun game for you this week.
Yeah.
Figure out which is going to be the.
If you're like Claire and you don't mind losing, and you can pick up anybody at any time, then just.
Yeah, or you could do.
Don't even start a tight end.
This isn't about winning, guys. This is just about having fun, all right?
It's about winning, Colin.
Colin,
you shut your dirty mouth.
I said it once, I'll say it again.
Shut your dirty mouth.
I will kill you.
These are real people in real situations with real problems and great health.
I will straight up go LeGarrette Blunt on you right now.
That's a real football.
Speaking of LeGarrette Blunt, or you can also play what I would call running back roulette, which is when you have a team that consists of Fred Jackson, LeGarrette Blunt, Reggie Bush, Justin Forsett, C.J. Spiller, and Beanie Wells. You're just hoping that one of those guys
Dude, I'll do you one better.
Okay?
I'll do you one better. Michael Bush, Sean Green, Donald Brown, Pierre Thomas, Brandon Jackson, Liddell Betts. I'll do you one better, partner. And that's why we're Tech Corner right here.
Yeah.
Because we can access this very easily and share with you.
All right, the next guy we're going to talk about, we'll go briefly with him because we covered him earlier. Brandon Pettigrew is still available in 85% of leagues. If you've got tight end problems, great pickup. Now moving on to the biggest pickup of the week. I doubt he's available. Ryan Torian, 66% of leagues.
Ryan Torian.
I like Torian better. Why is there an I in it?
Because it comes after the A. It was spelled wrong.
Who spelled it wrong?
I don't know. Whoever came up with this.
I'm firing my secretary.
Document. Yeah,
all right,
you should
so
definitely do that.
Ryan Torian.
Her name is Adam.
Sorry, apparently. I like slaughtering names.
We have to get a butcher symbol.
Seriously.
Like a little graphic. Corey out there?
Corey.
We need a guy in a butcher's hat with a big knife, and every time Adam butchers a name, we just...
Corey says Torian is the last level of Metroid.
Interesting side note. Interesting side
Outstanding.
note. Where you have to kill the big mother brain. Yeah, I know very well.
Oh, that's what was in your head.
But moving on.
All right,
segment.
Moving on.
Exactly. The next guy, now we had a lot of QBs go down this week, so there's not a lot out there for you, but I'm going to recommend Sean Hill because he's playing St. Louis. It's probably going to be a bit of a shootout. He's available in 91% of leagues. He's been very serviceable as a starter. I wouldn't say every week, but he'll get you through this week, and then maybe you'll get Cutler or Vic back. Any quarterbacks you guys like that are out there? I mean,
I think, Sean Hill, and he played half the year for the 49ers last year, and he did fine.
Sean
And
Hill
if you
was
play for the
very more
49ers,
than
you're-
serviceable
yeah,
for the 49ers.
he did fine.
you're automatically good in Claire's book if you play for the 49ers.
I mean, but you also, I mean,
Automatically
Sean Hill, I think, is
miserable.
definitely your number one. He's thrown for almost 1,000 yards already this season. And I think he's more than serviceable. If you have a borderline guy, I would, you can think about starting him if your starter's, a number 2 guy going against tough defense.
And you have to think you have, we talked about Pettigrew, and you have Calvin Johnson to throw too. So
And Javid Best is a
You know.
great receiver out of the backfield. He's got a lot of good players on that team.
if he plays this week, we'll see how he's feeling.
Well, I think Hill's definitely playing, and I think from what I understand, Stafford's
No,
not.
Best.
Oh, Best. Oh, Best is going to play. He practiced.
Yeah.
He practiced today, and he had a partial practice
I mean, if
yesterday.
you need
He's-
another
I don't know, he
quarterback,
kind
you
of
probably
played
got like a
last
David Gerard kicking around the bottom of your league. You've got maybe a Josh Freeman
I think
kicking
Hill
around the
might
Josh
bottom
be
of
Freeman,
better
your
I
than
league.
like. We
Gerard.
recommended him as a
Josh
pickup.
Freeman, but so you're not, you're
Yeah.
not looking at a ton of guys out there. If Sean Hill's out there, he's definitely better than those guys who are
Yeah.
established starters.
Yeah. All right, the next guy we're going to talk about real quick. I added him to the list late, so you guys don't have him because I'm sneaky like that. Mike Bell. LaShawn McCoy is not playing this week. He's available in 67% of leagues. He's now the starting back in Philadelphia, and he did pretty good when he had to fill in New Orleans last year for the first 2 weeks. I believe he had over 200 yards in 2 weeks. He looked good. He's a serviceable guy. He's playing the 49ers this week, and they've looked shaky against the run. So
You're just being polite, Adam.
yeah, they've looked
You
terrible.
can say they
against the
look
run.
like poop.
Yeah. Like wet Kleenex.
Terrible
The wet
poop.
Kleenex curtain in San Francisco is what that defense is called. So they're horrible. So Mike Bell's a good pickup if he's still available, especially for you McCoy owners. And then just
I got one more guy.
go for it.
I got one more guy, and I'll tell you, I just picked him up right now. 45 seconds ago, I just picked up our guy. Marty, are you out there? Mike Thomas from Jacksonville. They're talking about him being the go-to guy. He's been targeted more than anybody on that team. Mike Sims-Walker, pretty good, but Mike Thomas has gotten a majority of the targets. He's caught 28 balls for
or he's
Claire,
Claire,
caught
I'm
22
pretty
balls
sure
for
he's
207
available in your
yards.
league, so-
Claire, he's definitely his whole family is available in your league.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Thomas could end up being a force. Gerard looked better last week. Their offense is starting to get going a little bit. And if
yeah.
you've got a Garrett Hartley sitting on your bench who's not going to be kicking anymore for New Orleans, he's been replaced by a 48-year-old, then Mike Thomas might be a good pickup for you. He's owned in 18% of leagues on Sportsline, on CNN Sportsline.
And
so.
you Jones Drew owners out there, I want you guys to thank us because we called MJD out last week, and what did he do? He got in the end zone.
You got in the end zone.
See,
Right.
he heard us, and he thought, I can't let those guys talk smack about me like that, especially in those 49ers jerseys.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what happened.
Dude.
A couple other things we talk about this in this segment. Defenses playing bad offenses. One of my favorite strategies is just to rotate your defense against bad offenses. So St. Louis and Detroit get each other. I like St.
Lovely.
Louis a little more because I think St. Louis's offense is better than Detroit's. I think Bradford's a little more confident.
Also, the defense has been looking a little more
yeah.
aggressive.
I think, yeah.
So and then they might not be available, but Chicago gets Carolina, and that's a gimme. New Orleans gets Arizona,
Peppers.
and Arizona's looking pretty bad. That is, we got anybody else? Oh, you know what? I do want to we mentioned some guys last week that were on bye last week because I wanted to be able to pick them up for anybody else. Tony Moeaki in Kansas City, great tight end pickup. LeGarrette Blount, that's Tampa Bay. He is now their goal line back, and I don't think it's going to take him long to take over that starting job. He was a first-round talent who had issues with punch, in fact, punching other people. But that's the only reason he wasn't drafted right up there with Matthews and Best.
I'm going to say keep your eye out for Mike Williams from Tampa. They were on a bye last week, so people haven't really, when these guys go on their bye weeks, nobody's really talking about them.
Yeah.
But now that they're coming back, they're playing Cincy. I haven't seen much of Cincy, to be quite honest, but I know they've been involved in a couple of, decently high-scoring affairs. So could be interesting. He could establish himself as a real sort of mainstay on your lineup as a number 2 or number 3 receiver.
Yeah. All right. Well, and also in the same vein of the Randy Moss trade, Julian Edelman is going to see a lot more looks now. He's now the number 3 there. And he's a little bit better of a deep threat than Wes Welker. Wes Welker is the best receiver in the league in those little short cut routes. He's amazing. A lot of leagues. Why aren't you listening?
That's
to me
interesting. Yet? I thought there was a moratorium on speaking about Aaron Hernandez.
No, there never will be.
Aaron Hernandez. I keep saying the name.
Did I misspell it?
Hernandez.
I probably misspelled
Like Larry Herndon.
I'm a
You know what?
terrible
We're gonna
speller.
have to. Okay, no, say the next one, and then I have a wager.
Okay, people out there. Now, when I looked, Brandon Tate was available in 79% of leagues. He might have already gone through waivers in your league, but if he's out there, definitely pick him up. He's the new deep threat for Tom Brady and the Patriots.
But what about Aaron Hernandez?
Well, Aaron Hernandez should have already been picked up, although he's still available in 73%. It's very Star Warsy. Yeah, little Star
Yeah,
Warsy.
that's my favorite graphic. Corey, if you're watching, that's my favorite graphic.
Yeah,
We
I
love
like
you,
it.
Corey.
I actually like the fantasy news too. That one's good. But anyway, moving on. We've got obviously a lot of these trades are affecting